You know, I think for a lot of people, one of the biggest considerations they make when they buy a home is their kids, right? Either they are starting a family like we are and they're expecting their first kids, or their kids are about to enter school or they're in high school and they look at that and they say, hey, we want our kids to get a great education and we want better for them. And I think that's so true. Like every parent wants that, right? Like every parent wants to give their kids the best possible education that they can. Well, today we got the release from the Texas Education Administration, or TEA, the report cards or the performance scores for the all the districts in Texas for the 24-25 school year. And I want to talk you through them. We're going to talk about the 10 worst districts that scored the worst in DFW. I'm going to give you those. And then I'm going to give you the ones that scored the best in DFW, the top 10 in the DFW area, with their scores. And then I want to show you, because our channel is a new construction real estate channel. That's what we help people do. We help people buy new construction homes, whether they're inventory or ground up build. So I'm want to pair the data from the school districts and the data from a new home to see what it would cost you to get into that school district. And here's the crazy thing: in all of this, the school districts that everybody talks about that they want that you hear, the Frisco, the Prosper, and the Celinas, they didn't even make the top 10. Yeah, so you might want to reconsider where you're looking at, and I'll show you all of those details, but those three didn't even make the top 10 in best school district grades here in North Texas. If we haven't met before, my name is Zach. My team and I, like I told you earlier, we sell new construction real estate. We help you make the best decisions you can when it comes to building with a builder or buying from their inventory. If we can help in any way, as always, we put our contact information right down here. Now, I'm going to read you the blurb from TEA that talks about how they score, and then I want to give you some insight. As somebody who's married to a teacher, I want to give you a little bit of insight. And so this, and I'm going to lead with, yes, this is important information, but this is not all of the information, right? So let me just read you the blurb that they've got on there. It says the ratings are determined by the school's performance in 3 different categories: student achievement, school progress, and closing the gaps. Student achievement and school progress make up 70% of the final ranking, according to the TEA. The rest is determined by the closing the gap metric. In grade schools, student achievement measures whether students meet expectations on the STAR, the STAAR test. And so for those of you that are not, I'm going to pause right there. For those of you that are not from Texas, that's the state mandated testing. For high school campuses, it also measures graduation rates and college and career readiness. So STAR is state mandated testing. We have very strong opinions about STAR, and that is not the place for this video. If we follow the money, we will understand how asinine that test is. But it's used as a data point. So understand, schools can do really, really great things and do really well and still score low based on this TEA measurement because of STAR. If you want my honest opinion, I think it's the stupidest thing we do, and we should allow districts to set their own expectations of growth for students. But there is way too much money that flows into it. So, and again, as somebody who's married to an educator who is, my wife is an elementary school teacher, I see all sides of that and understand and have, so STAR is not the only thing that matters, but in the case of these ratings, it is a big indicator. So I'm going to give you all of this information, but I also want you just to take it with a grain of salt, and I want to help you do your own research. So this is fun information, but there's more to it than these stupid STAR scores, because this says that they use. That's a big piece of it. And then for high school campuses, it measures graduation rates and college and career readiness. School progress measures how students perform on state tests over time. There it is again, and how that performance compares with other schools with similar economically disadvantaged students. Closing the gap measures how well schools are boosting scores among special needs and English as second language learners. So that's kind of how they score it out. Again, there are so many other things that go into this. It's the parent involvement, it's the funding, it's the athletics, it's the fine arts, it's the teachers. This is just one piece of of evidence or one piece of data that you need to use to build out a full picture when you're picking where you might buy a home. But it is still fun to kind of take a look at. So I'm gonna give you the top, the school districts that scored the lowest in DFW, and then we're not gonna spend too much time there. So we had a three-way tie for 8th place in the lowest scores in DFW. That would be Venus ISD, Crandall ISD, and Corsicana ISD. We then had a three-way tie for 5th, which would be Commerce ISD, Kemp ISD, and Poolville ISD. At 4th was Bridgeport ISD. Tied for 2nd in worst ranking or lowest scoring districts in DFW was Gainesville and Greenville. And then the first worst scoring district in DFW was Lake Worth, and all of those are in the 60s. So we're looking at scores. So they run this on like an A to F scale, right? So think about when you were in school, like 60s was, what is that, a D, and then 70s is a C, 80s is a B, and then 90s is an A. So with the highest one, the 8s, they were at 69, the lowest at 62. Those were our top 10 lowest scoring districts based on the criteria that we talked about. Now let's get into we're gonna go from 10 to 1 in DFW, but I told you at the beginning of this video that Frisco did not make the list, and I'm gonna show you where you can go check this out and see that doesn't make them bad. Like, they were probably just right outside of it, I'm guessing, based on the scores I can see here. So I'm gonna show you my screen, show you where you can look these up, and then we will start looking at the map. So let me put baby in a corner. Okay, so this is txschools.gov. This is, you can go to the TEA website, you just type in school reports for 2024, 2025, and then you can kind of scroll down, you can see the criteria they scored on, which is what I told you already, and then you can get to this and you can learn more about school districts. So before we get into the top 10, I gotta hit them because everybody always asks about it, is like, hey, can we go, we wanna buy in Frisco. So we just come in, Frisco, ISD, and of course, so they still rate it out as an A. So they scored a 90 out of 100, and that didn't get them in the top 10 in DFW. Now, I'm gonna give you a little secret. Most of these districts in the top 10 are smaller school districts. I'm just gonna give you that for what it's worth. Most of them are smaller school districts. Okay, back to our scheduled programming here. So Frisco rates out at a 90 out of 100. With 65,000 students total enrolled. Holy cow, that is a ton of students. And then of course, on every school district, you can scroll down public information. You can kind of see the breakdown of student ethnicity, right? So if you were looking at 65,000 students, here is how Frisco breaks down with that ethnic diversity. Those are hard to get words out. You can see their attendance rate, you can see absenteeism, students per teacher. So txschools.gov, great tool to use. So 14.6 students per teacher. They have 4,400 teachers on in full-time contracts. And then of course you kind of go in and you can say, hey, we did school progress. Here's how they're making their progress. Here's their academic growth. Can we see college, closing the gap, school progress, student achievement, star ratings. You could play at length on this website for all of these different districts. So I showed you them because they're an honorable mention. Everybody always likes them. So now what I want to show you is, hey, if we go and we're just looking at new because that's all I sell is new. How much would it cost you to get into Frisco ISD with a builder? So currently listed on the MLS, we have 147 homes. The least expensive home in Frisco ISD that is brand new. If you're saying, hey, I want my kids in Frisco, the least expensive home in Frisco is $445,000. Let's check it out. It is looks like a duplex. So this is not, well, maybe not. Come on. Yeah, so it's a townhome. So it's 1,925 square feet. It's 2 beds, 2.5 baths townhome. It is $445, right? So if you didn't want to be in a townhome, let's do it like this. Let's go single family, and you're like, hey, we got to have a little bit of a yard. So single detached. Let's set our criteria there. 100 and then we just want just actives. 92. The least expensive single family detached home $574 to get into Frisco. And this was built in Mustang Square, and it was built by, I don't know who it was built by, but this is what it would cost you to get the least expensive home, new construction, to get your kids into Frisco. Now, for fun, let's go look at the most expensive home, because somebody's got to buy it, right? The most expensive new construction home, $5.3 million in Frisco. This is a custom home. Yeah. 5.3 million, 8,000 square feet, 5 bed, 4 fireplaces, in case you were curious about it. 7 total bathrooms. This is, yeah, this, look at that. So you want to, if you want this, I will, call me. If you want the $500,000 house, call me too, but definitely, yeah. Okay, so there's our first honorable mention. The other honorable mention that didn't make the top 10 is Prosper. Prosper did not make the top 10. So Frisco had a 91 out of 100. Prosper, 91 out of 100. Also, for the 2024-25 school year. Check that out. Half of the enrollment. So Frisco was north of 60. Prosper is just now at 31. They just opened a brand new high school. So if you're wanting to get into Prosper, again, here is your ethnicity breakdowns, all the information you could want, half the number of teachers. And then if you wanted to be in Prosper, so you're like up, we're still on the north side of the Metroplex. So let's go back, same thing. Prosper, let's get out of Frisco. Prosper, and you would have 213 new construction matches. That's not considering retail, because we don't like retail. I like retail. I like new. The cheapest, most affordable home, $424 in Sutton Fields. Who built it? I'm gonna guess it's Pacesetter. Let's see. Oh, Mattamy. Close. Okay. So this is the least expensive home in Prosper ISD. This is 3 bed, 2 bath, 2,000 square feet in Sutton Fields, Denton County, and it was built by Mattamy. So this is, if you want under 500 in Prosper, there you go. We got it. You've also, and then you'll see as we go back and look, go away. You will see that, you know, we got a couple under 500, so we've got a few options. Let's see, here's this one. Check this out. This one was built by McKinney, the McKinney plant, I think. So this should be a Pacesetter home, is what that should be. Yep, that is a Pacesetter home. McKinney plan, Pacesetter, got it. And this is, actually that's not Pacesetter, I'm sorry. That's, can I see? It doesn't say. Interesting. Okay, so that's your affordable options in Prosper ISD. We did it on the other. We'll do them in a couple. We won't do it in every single neighborhood, but in a couple. Most expensive home, new construction, $3.4 million in Prosper. Ooh, yeah. This is it an Amalfi? It's this is the model. Guys, I have walked this house. We showed this house in another video, because we were talking about Highland coming to this Bristol Lakes in Heath, and they're building this home. This house is a stunning home. I don't know, that's worth 3.4 million, but it's stunning. And that would get you into Prosper ISD and definitely in Mustang Lake. So those are our, let me give you one more, because this one was, honestly, this next one, this one was surprising that it didn't make the top 10 for me. I think it will be in the top 10 in the next couple of years. This one was surprising. So let's go check what they actually rated out at, because I would guess they're probably pretty close. Let's see if and that would be the district of Celina. Really interesting. That is a super interesting one that I thought would be a little bit higher. It's growing, 87, so they're close. They're just outside of the top 10. And they are right now only at 5,300 students, and it's going to grow. So if you wanted to get into an area that you could kind of help shape what's going on in those school districts, and it's continuing to grow and expand, this would be one that I would consider taking a look at. So Celina. So it's gonna be a long video. We're just hanging out, having a good time. Celina, let's just see, what do we got? Celina ISD, affordability wise, $394. The 2.1 million. There's your most expensive home. So 5,000 square feet on just over an acre. I dig it. I like it. 2.1 million would be your most expensive. Least expensive, so 326. Let's just Del Webb. You can't live there. Unless you're over 55, you can't live there with your kids. So can't do that one. Chalk Hill. So this is Beezer. So check that out. Was 378, now 329, 1,500 square feet. So definitely on the smaller side. But if you're not needing a ton of space, this would be a good option. So that gets you into Celina. And I've got a couple more personal favorites that I think are honorable mentions that we'll get to probably at the end of the video. So without further ado, let's start the top 10 list for best rated school districts from TEA in 2025. At number 9, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-way tie. At 9 would be Aledo. And you're like, Zach, where the heck is Aledo? Well, I will show you. Look at this. So Aledo is the west side of Fort Worth. So if you're like looking at the map, it's like right out here on the west side of Fort Worth. So you're definitely not gonna want to be working up north, because that commute would be no bueno. But Aledo gets a rating of 92 out of 100. Less than 10,000 students. I told you a lot of these smaller districts are the ones making the list here. 8,300. There is your teacher years of experience. Again, Texas schools or txschools.gov is this resource to go take a look at. So there's your diversity breakdown, and then real quick, let's see if we can make up some time. There's some really cool stuff in Aledo. A lot of that, especially on some acreage. If you're looking for homes with like newer homes with a little bit of space, could be a great option in Aledo. So 386 Morningstar. Who built it? Not D.R. Horton. Pass. Okay, so you got to be careful. You got to kind of go in and look and see who's building it and what. Just because it's the cheapest home doesn't make it. That's not too bad. $450. They raised it $1,000. Why? I don't know, because they felt like, I guess they could. Whatever. So in the 300-400s to get into Aledo ISD on the top end, we've got stuff over $1 million, but realistically, let's come look right. Let's do this one. 3004 Rolling Creek. This was built. This is beautiful. 2 acres. Look at that. Trees, 2 acres. Come on, let's do it. I don't know anything. And it's listed at $950. So $950 gets you into Aledo. Next one was Graford, and I'll be honest with you guys, I had to look this one up because I was like, I'm not even sure where this is. And so I'm gonna show you. Same thing, 92 out of 100, and it's actually also out on the FORD, out on the way west Fort Worth side, guys. That's like past Mineral Wells. So like you're getting out there toward, Possum Kingdom Lake. So yeah, lots out there. Another one on the Fort Worth side, we have on our top 10, we have Argyle, which is kind of this like northern Fort Worth area. So Argyle, Northlake, Justin, there's a lot of growth going in up there. I have a few people that have been looking in that area, this Argyle, Northlake, Justin area. So let's take a look at their rating and see how they did. They're tied. So help if Zach could spell. Argyle, there it is. Argyle ISD, also a 92, 6,100 students. Okay. And then if you wanted to buy in Argyle ISD, you're buying brand new. Let's see what we can find if you want to get into there. Argyle 56. Let's see. Results. Show me something good. 3.8 million. That's cool, but that's not attainable for most people. So let's go actually look at, let's do the lower end, the affordable end, 414. Vintage Village. Who's building it? Can we see? MI. Not too bad. Another national builder. So 414, that gets you into Vintage Village in Denton County. Another Vintage Village. Let's see. Harvest. Harvest is a cool neighborhood. Lots of growth in there. Vintage, Harvest. Cottages, so a little bit smaller homes. But again, if you're buying for the school, you just kind of got to weigh it out, right? Like, do you want bigger home, more space? I think that's Bloomfield, right? We never lived in. Yep, Bloomfield. Like them. Bloomfield builds a really good quality home. So this house is 2,098 square feet, 4-bed, 2-bath, listed at 505. So as you're working through this, you've kind of just got to weigh it out, right? What is most important to you, and what's most important to you is probably not most important to me and most important to the next person. And we love having that conversation. So for a lot of our clients, say, hey, we want the best school district. It's like the other ones say, hey, we want a good yard, and we'll take a lower school district. We want more house. It's a give and take, and it just really depends on what you care about, right? So one of the favorite things, and I'll give you this plug, and then we'll go back because I got a lot more of a list to go through. If we can have a conversation with you and talk you through what's most important, that's the best part. Like these videos are great, they're fun, but sitting down with you and figuring it out specifically for you, that's to me that's what I like best. So if we can do that, you can, the links down below. You can call us, you can email me, text me, whatever. So we did Argyle, Graford. This next one, I'm glad they made the list. I'm not surprised because there's so much growth in this area, and this is one of those districts that's kind of a sleeper district. Like you kind of forget about it unless you're from around here, and that would be Wylie. Wylie ISD. We know it's going to be a 92 because we're still in the 10th place. So 92, almost 20,000 students. And if you're looking at the map, you're like, Zach, you're saying these things, but I don't know where that is. I'll show you. Wylie, Texas. We're back over on the east side. So we have jumped back to the Dallas side, and you are right in between. So Rockwall and then like McKinney, Allen, all of this, you're like right in between, right off the lake. Easy access back to like George Bush. So Wylie ISD rated out really, really well. And then we gotta find a house. If you're gonna live there, gotta find you a house. And there's a neighborhood in Wylie ISD. One of my favorite ones is Hillstead. Technically it has a Lavon address, but it has Wylie schools, and it's right on 205. And I want to see, and let me show you. Hey, look at that. It was the first house I pulled up. 434. So this is a Highland home, and I love Highland homes. This probably favorite builder, Highland Homes. It's going to have a little bit smaller of a backyard. I think there's 40 or 45 foot lots in there. Dries and Perry have the big lots in Hillstead, but was 450, dropped to 434. This would get you into Wylie ISD, and like I said, it's right there on the edge of 205. This is that Hillstead neighborhood, so you kind of got that there, and then you've got this is like Inspiration. So yeah, Ashton Woods, pass. There's a Highland home in Inspiration that's being okay. We got some options. First Texas. I mean, not got options. Not middle of the pack, like midpoint kind of thing. Not bad. But it's down $20,000 to get you into Wylie. So, consider that. All right, one more in our top 9 or top 10, and then we'll kind of keep working down the list. And that would be our friends to the north, and it would be, here we go. Where's my search bar? Searchy. Melissa. Melissa is rating out at a 92, a growing district. They're going to be, my bet is they're above 10,000 students before in the next 5 years. They'll be above 10,000, no problem, up there. So they've passed bond packages. They're opening campuses. They've got some growth going on. Some really cool neighborhoods. They need to keep expanding. So Melissa, Anna area, that whole northern corridor on 75 is moving. So let's see, what can we get into? Okay, 336. Starlight, nope. Not even doing it. Not. If you've never been around my channel, like you just got to know. Like I'm gonna straight up be honest with you. What builders we like and what builders we don't like. Meadow Run. Okay, so this is a pace setter home, 2,300 square feet for $514. So it is going to cost you a little bit more to get into Melissa. Smaller district, you're still seeing that. These Starlight homes, I wouldn't. The quality's like, you're not going to be able to sell it in 5 years, and the quality's going to be, well, I've seen dog poop in my backyard better than that. So we'll leave that there. Okay, so that gets us through our 4 or 5 that are tied for top 10. Next one is Palo Pinto ISD, and you're like, Zach, Palo Pinto, y'all got some weird names in Texas. Palo Pinto, that is another one way out there west of Fort Worth. Way west of Fort Worth. But I want to show you, it's a small school district again. Trying to get some love there. Palo Pinto. And they rated out at a 93. I didn't realize how small it was. Oh, that's not right. No way. I'm gonna count that as a typo. I'm gonna count 92 students as a typo. I knew it was small, but I didn't. All right, we got to move on. I'm so sorry, Palo Pinto ISD. This next one isn't actually going to have a ton of new construction in it, but I want to show it to, and it will, like, I could be wrong. There could be, but it rates out in the top 10, so we got to talk about it. And that is Coppell ISD. So Coppell ISD 93, and that is just north of, like, it's kind of right outside of the northern part of the northwest part of the metro. So COPPE. Coppell, I'll show you. So right there close to the airport. So in the mid-cities area, Carrollton, Addison, Coppell, Grapevine, right here, Southlake. So Coppell, let's just see if there's anything new. I don't think there is. I think this is probably, if you're gonna buy in Coppell, truthfully, it's probably gonna be mostly resale. I reserve the right to be wrong though. So let's just see. Yeah, four resale or 4 new construction homes, and they're not going to be cheap, and they're going to be like that's like a weird, interesting, but you could have it for $735. So that would be Coppell. Also tied at number 6. This one I'm a little biased. I'm just going to tell you. The next one I'm going to give you, I've got a little bit of a bias. I told you earlier, my wife's a school teacher. I'm excited that they made the top 10 because this is actually the district that my wife teaches in. So I am super excited that they made the top 10, and I want to show you this district. So go back to our little sheet. Did we look at Coppell? 13,000 students. This next one also tied for 6th is Sunnyvale. So good job, guys. I like to believe my wife had a hand in that. I mean, obviously there was tons of teachers that were part of that, but I think she had a special hand in it, so shout out to them. 2,300 students. They are trying to grow campuses and trying to grow the area. This is one of those areas that's like, it's super small, and it's locked in between locked in between Garland and Mesquite. So there's not going to be a ton of like commercial development in here. You're going to either end up in Mesquite, or honestly, you're going to end up coming out to Rockwall and doing your shopping. But if you're wanting an area that is close to Dallas or close to downtown, this would be a place to look. So back to the report card, 2301 students, 14.3 students per teacher. Shout it out, way to go. And then let's go buy a house here. You're gonna probably, there are a couple different neighborhoods. What's it called? Homestead? Sunnyvale ISD. You're gonna see as we move our way up these school districts, pricing to get into them is going to be higher. I just tell you. So we are not in there for 500 or 600. Everything above this, I guarantee you, it's going to be probably, well, with the exception of a couple, it's probably going to be north of 700 to get in. And this one, so yeah, new construction stuff that's listed. Yeah, Stony Creek. So we've got 849. This is built by Kindred, and it is sitting on 1.3 acres. So 3 bed, 2 bath, 3,100 square feet. We've got that one. We've got, that's a weird house. Kindred, another one. Let's see, who else has got stuff in there? Las Brisas, that is a beautiful neighborhood, and that's a Windsor home. Windsor does a ton of customization options, and they build a really, really pretty home. So this could get you, into Sunnyvale, but it's not gonna be cheap. It's gonna be, you're gonna spend $1 million to get your kids into one of the top rated school districts, and you could have my wife as a teacher. Is it worth it? I think so. But, whatever. Okay, those are, so tied for third. These other ones I had to look up. So this one is, I didn't know where this was, and because sometimes schools districts don't have the same name as the area. So this is Huckabee, and I was like, where in the heck is that? It's 325 students, and you're like, where is Huckabee ISD? And I think it's in Stephenville, if I remember right. Huckabee. Yeah, out in Stephenville. It's so funny that this is still considered part of the Metroplex, because to me that's kind of a stretch. Like, I mean, I know we're growing, so, but they rated out as 94. The next one is Civil's Bend, which is Gainesville, which is, again, kind of out. It's Metroplex adjacent, right? So we're not going to hit that one, because to be honest, I don't know that market super well, but I want to show you. Bell's Bend ISD. 62 students. So maybe not, right? The top three are in DFW. So here we go, top three, and then I've got a couple more honorable mentions because they're areas that I like to sell in, and that we've invested in, and I'm just curious to see them. So Lovejoy. Like, where is Lovejoy? Lovejoy actually sits up by Allen. So if you've heard about Allen, and you're like, what? Why do I know Allen? And it's like, Allen is the school district that has like one high school campus that has like 9,000 million people that they keep everybody at, and they built the massive football stadium. Like, you see them all over TikTok and Instagram, and like they are massive. Lovejoy Independent School District is right up here. So in between like Allen and Wylie, kind of coming through this area is a small school district of Lovejoy. And it's got 4,000 students in it. So not as small as 62, but not 10,000. So Lovejoy, 4,000 students. And let's just see, I guarantee you, to get into here, you're going to spend $1 million. I would be shocked if it's anything less than $1.2 million on a brand new home in Lovejoy. I can't even find anything new, so we'd have to look at resale. Let's see. Let's just remove that. Did I break it? Maybe I did. Okay, let's try again. Sunnyvale, no. We want Lovejoy. For real? Okay. Yeah, we got to go resale, and it's going to be $1 million. Is it? Maybe not. Oh. I stand corrected. Zach was wrong. Get you into Lovejoy. Right there. Okay, so there you can kind of see you've got options. It's definitely going to be resale. And if you need somebody to help you resell, let me know. I got a team. We got people. I don't do a lot of resale. I do enough. I mean, I have to be honest. I don't do any. But I have a team of people who do great work in the resale space. And so if you're interested in Lovejoy, let me know, and I will get you connected to them. Number two. So this one, if you've been around North Texas, like you grew up here, this one, you know this name because they used to be, and they still kind of are. They are a powerhouse when it comes to Texas high school football, and that would be our friends over in Carroll ISD, and that is, like I said, that is in Southlake. 95 out of 100. They have 8,000 students enrolled. They are, let's see, they're at 15.3 students per teacher. Their college readiness is some of the best. So academic-wise, athletics-wise, they're doing some good things. So Southlake, if you were looking at a map, is over there by the airport. Grapevine area, kind of back where we were looking. So this is Southlake. So right, Southlake, Roanoke, Hurst, Euless, Bedford, airport, Southlake right here. You want a house in there? $1 million right now. Bet. Carroll ISD. Yep, new construction in Carroll. 36. Let's see. 1.99. 1.99, and it's 3,100 square feet. Is that the least expensive home? It is. Least expensive home in Carroll would cost you $1.99 million on a resale deal. And this is one I'm just curious. Show me the most expensive. Guys, $11 million. $11 million. Holy cow. 11,000 square feet, 6 bedrooms, 2 fireplaces, 8 total bathrooms, and it sits on 3 acres. So there's that. 11 million for this beautiful. Look at the houses next to it. I mean, I know we're not buying it, but it's fun to look at, right? Like, we're just enjoying life. Let's go see if we can find a deal on something. Maybe there's something on sale, right? I love a good sale. Is this one? Let's see. 5.499. Give me a price reduction. Show me a price reduction. Come on, Southlake. Yeah, okay, nothing. Pretty houses. Look at that. Hey guys, this one, brand new home, 4,200 square feet. You could get it for $200,000 off. Look at that. It was 3.2. It's now 3.99. This is, like I said, 4,200 square feet. You're only going to get 5 bedrooms, guys. Come on. But it's in Southlake. Get that Spanish style home. If you want to be in Southlake and go be a dragon, because that's the school district, raise the price, it's going to cost you a lot. Now, #1 school district in DFW that has the highest rating. If you're from around here, when I tell you who this is, it's not at all going to surprise you. You're going to be like, yep, that tracks. If you're not from around here and you have very, very affluent friends, this is where their kids go, or this is where they want their kids to go. So I'm going to show you, and you're going to be like, oh yeah, that tracks. #1 school district in North Texas based on the TEA ratings for the 2024-2025 school year was Highland Park. HP, as the locals call it. HP got a 96 out of 100. HP has 6,300 students. Average 13.8 students per teachers. Let's just go look and see how good they actually did based on their growth ratings. That is unreal. Crazy. Crazy. Highland Park is in, actually, let's keep looking. Did we look at student achievement? No, we did that. Let's do school progress. They're growing, academic growth. Golly. Closing gaps. Grade out super well. Accountability. Student achievement. Yeah, buddy. Highland Park ISD is right in the middle of like Dallas proper. So let's just Highland Park. HP. This is where like athletes' kids go to school here. The people with the money, like this is where they go. And if you are people with money, I would love to help you. But I know those like that's not who we normally do business with. But it's fun to look. This small square, my guess is to get into HP on a new build home, it's going to be at minimum 3 million. Minimum. Let's see. Let's check it. Let's just look because we're curious. Highland Park ISD on a build, 13 homes, and it's going to be, oh no, tell me I'm wrong. Let's start at the smaller end. Okay, $3.4 million. And it's 6,300 square feet. It's 6 bedrooms, only 2 fireplaces, 8 total baths, and 4 living areas. But look at how close you are to your neighbor. Like, if I spend $3 million, I better not be able to see people for a mile. But people pay this because of the area, the location, the access, and the schools. So yeah, this is $3.5 million, brand new build, and it will get you into Highland Park schools. So there you go. There's that. Let's just look at another one because it's fun and we're here. Let's just go to $8.5 million. Let's say you win the lottery and you're like, I got $8.5 million and I want to go to Highland Park. 8.9, crazy. 7, 6.5, 6.5. 5. Hey, $200,000 price reduction. There you go. Look at that, guys. They dropped the price. It was 5.1. Now they're at 4.9. Like, it's a steal. Hey, another price reduction. Look at those. They're so close together because you saw how small that area was, right? So that is the number 1 rated school district in North Texas is HP at a 96 out of 100. And if you've got deep pockets, you can get to there. I do want to give you a couple of, I gave you a couple honorable mentions at the beginning. You've stuck around this long. Let me give you a couple more for realistic budget expectations. They might, and I haven't looked at them yet. I'm curious to see how they rate out, but we help a lot of people buy in these areas. So I want to show you what the schools rate out at and see if it might make sense for you. So let me run through these really quick. You've been so gracious. You're still here and you stayed this long. I'm going to help you. Rockwall rates out at a B, just missed being an A, 1,900 or 19,000 students. That will put you right out. So if you're new from here, that'll put you right out here along 30. I like the area a lot because of the low property tax rates. Rockwall County is also secretly one of the wealthiest counties in Texas, but you can still get stuff that is attainable for some people. Not everybody, but some people. So Rockwall ISD results, show me the display. You get into Rockwall ISD in the 300s. Now this puts you in Travis Ranch. So I don't know that I would go there, but like if we looked at a neighborhood, so one of the first neighborhoods I would look at, that like Montero wouldn't be too bad. That's in Fate. Standard at Rockwall. I don't know who that is. I'm just looking at it in real time. Heath Golf and Yacht, people like that. That's a South Side neighborhood. Sonoma Verde. Look at this one. This is a Bloomfield home, Sonoma Verde. 2,100 square feet, under 500, gets you into Rockwall schools. that would be one I think that would be worth a consideration. I'm curious, another one, if you kind of keep going out that way, how this neighborhood rates out, or how this school district rates out, and it is Royse City. So keep going past Rockwall, scores at a 77, so not as great as I hoped, but I think they have some opportunities for growth. So this would be one I would track. Royse City would be one that I would look at and say, hey, I'm betting there's going to be growth in the next 5 to 10 years, and if you can buy in right now, you might have an opportunity as this grows. Like this is going to continue to expand and be like, and you could be a part of it. Here's another one. This one I was actually at their community. So Community ISD covers Lavon, Josephine, and Nevada. Now, here's the interesting thing about this. A couple weeks ago, I was at their like town hall meeting or whatever, and they're expecting tons and tons of growth. So this is a small town. They're at 5,000 students enrolled. They're expecting to be at like 15 to 20 in the next 10 or 15 years. So there is going to be growth out here. There's lots of affordability out in this area. So you're seeing, I showed you the map earlier, like that Wylie, in between Wylie and Rockwall. This is that area. So if you can get around this, and like I told you at the beginning of the video, this is just a piece of data, like so much more, the teachers, the communities, the families, the activities, all of that goes in. This is one piece of data, and one piece of data that is heavily rated on star scores that shouldn't exist, but we have to at least talk about it to give you guys information and informed decisions. If you can get past that, you could probably find a really good deal, really affordable. If you're a growing, like you're just starting your family, just trying to figure it out, you could consider looking out here. If you wanted to go south, this one, let's see how they rated out. Waxahachie, not Waxahachie, Waxahachie. Interesting. I would not have thought that. I would have thought that would rate out better. Another area that I think is growing and expanding, and you have lots of growth in, if you want to go south. So that one, giving you a couple of honorable mentions that didn't make the top 10 that I would consider looking at. Okay, well, by Mansfield, Midlothian ISD, about the same. So if you wanted to go south, Waxahachie, Mansfield, Midlothian. If you wanted to stay east, a lot of people like the affordability of Forney, almost a B. This number is going to be above 30,000 in the next probably decade. Again, I would bet on that with all the growth that's going in Forney. Another space that could be a growth thing. And the last one I want to check is the school district I grew up in, because why the heck not? Why would I not look and see if, your boy came from Mesquite, and that about tracks. Yeah, that tracks with what they're doing. So I hope this was super helpful for you in making that decision. So again, if you're here in DFW, or you're trying to get to DFW and you want a brand new home, that's where we're finding some of the best deals, honestly. Builders are still incentivizing a great amount, and that's I think one of the best opportunities right now to get in or to move up, whatever. So if you have questions, reach out, let me know. If you want to go check your school district out, again, txschools.gov, just to kind of give it a look and say, hey, what makes the most sense and where can we go from here? So guys, I hope that was helpful. I will see you in our next video.